Hey guys, it's Just Nerds here with another discussion, this time focusing on the popular video game series, Pokémon. We're going to be trying to keep these videos brief and split them up into different parts, so we focus on every generation. And you can go down to the comment box and share your own thoughts. So today, we're going to be discussing Pokémon Generations 1 and 2, talk about things that we liked and some things that we did not like. So, I'm Blake and I'll be hosting the discussion. With me are my friends and fellow Pokémon trainers, Jonathan and Elijah. So let's get started, guys. On Generation 1, Jonathan, I know you haven't played the original Gen 1 cartridges.
I played Fire Red.
Yeah, I know, you played Fire Red. So coming off of that, what are some things that you liked and you didn't like?
This Generation 1 though, right?
Yeah, Generation 1.
Because Fire Red's, wouldn't that technically be Generation 3, right?
Well, it's Generation 1, but basically this, how was everything to the point when you got to the Elite Four? What did you think of just the Pokemon themselves, the story, the area?
Now, before we talk about Generation 1, I told you I'm kind of scared because Generation 1 fans are some of the scariest fans out there.
Yeah.
And so, this just our opinions. You know, we could be considered dumb, so it's okay. Just don't hate us, please.
That'll be alright. Just go ahead.
Generation 1 is a very, very solid generation, especially for starting out basically, and how that generation would lead up to the other ones and make more improvements, as we saw with Fire Red, because that's where all the new improvements were made. Very good Pokemon. I know some people think they're not very creative because they're not me. I really like them, but because they're like animals, so just small differences. But even if that's true, they still look very good. They're very good looking. It's a very good generation. Yeah, really, the region's really good. It's a very solid region, and yeah, yeah.
What about you, Elijah? Have you played the first generation cartridge? Did you play the remake at all?
I played Soul Silver. That's not Generation 1.
Okay, that's fine. You can just skip Generation 1.
I've never played Generation
Personally, I have to say it's my favorite. I'm a nostalgic, so I guess there's kind of a little personal preference there. But if there's two Pokemon that I don't like from Generation 1, and it's not just because of their appearance and stuff. Well, actually, it is based on their appearance. I don't like Mr. Mime, and I don't like Jinx. I don't like them in any generation. I just don't like them. And it's not because I'm afraid of clowns.
They always creep me out.
They're just kind of weird. A mime, Mr. Mime, that's just a little weird.
Yeah.
It holds a lot of cherished memories for me personally. I remember trading with my brother with the cord and the whole heavy setup and stuff like that, and that was a lot of fun. Definitely in the old cartridges, because I have played the old cartridges. Some of the weirdest looking sprites I have ever seen. I don't know. Have you guys seen them?
Yeah, Blastoise. Man, Blastoise looks weird.
Yeah, I actually have a picture if you guys want to check them out. One of my favorites is Geodude. He looks like Elvis Presley, kind of, with just the rock things on his head.
Yeah.
And then Golem, are those eyes or just like rocks in his face?
No, they're eyes. They're just really shaped weird.
Yeah. Another favorite of mine are the 3 legendary birds. Yes. They just look so weird. We're gonna put this. We're going to put this picture in a link in the description so you guys can zoom in and look in a little deeper.
Zapdos is definitely the weirdest of the 3. But Blastoise, I know he's like, his back is all the way, he's leaning back.
Yeah.
And his shell and his body is really misproportioned.
Yeah, he just looks fat. Really fat. Another one is Charizard. He kind of has a weird pose.
Yeah. It's definitely an awkward pose to do.
Yeah. Definitely, I will say, fixed in yellow version, which, while we're talking about that, I actually did have a question for you guys. In the context of Pokemon Yellow, there's a lot of debate, and I've looked this up. There's actually a really big debate whether or not Pikachu is a starter Pokemon. So what do you guys think? Do we consider him one? Because I've heard the argument that he breaks the chain of the typical fire, grass, and water, and that's why we should not consider him one.
It's basically, he is a starter, but I think I kind of feel this way. I just don't care. But it's basically because whenever people think of starters, they think of the fire, water, and grass. So it's what's your favorite Generation 1 starter? They say, well, it's either between Charmander, Bulbasaur, or Squirtle. You forgot Pikachu. I'm talking about the 3 the element ones, not Pikachu. So I think that's mainly what it is.
Yeah, personally, I consider him a starter because to me a starter is just the Pokemon you start with, and that's just quite frankly what it is to me. So, I consider him one. Is he different? Yes. Can you get him from every other game? Yes, but I think he's still kind of special in Yellow because you can't get another Pikachu and you cannot get Raichu, which I think makes him a little specialist in that particular game. Also, Yellow is just really the improved version I talk to a lot of people and they say that Yellow, if you want to play the first generation games, they recommend Yellow because it has just really fixed everything and it's a lot of fun to play. So
yeah, the gameplay mechanics were kind of okay, but that was just because they were starting. Like I remember they had like special offense and defense were one thing, and that's weird because that's definitely a weird choice. And then a complaint that I have for the original games, not like Fire Red and Leaf Green, is that the Pokemon don't really have a lot of variety, mostly because they don't have what's it called?
The new types and stuff or the moves.
It's not like the moods, like
the stats, like
aggressive, like not aggressive, but it's like aggressive or
focus,
what?
focus energy and stuff like that.
I think like the personalities. I think. I'll
oh yeah, like the traits. I get it. Yeah, like the traits, like how some Pokemon can be like
like the traits,
like shy or whatever.
Yeah, that's because with that, almost all the Pokemon are different. Like with that, if you catch a Pidgey, it's different from another Pidgey.
Yeah.
Like its attack will be different, or its defense and speed. And with the original Pokemon, it was really all the same. Like one Pikachu was the same as the other one. So the only difference you could do is with the
characteristics.
Yeah, they're traits. I guess
like
you
the
could
stats.
say.
The only difference you could do was like the proteins and everything. So that was like maybe the worst part that you didn't have unique Pokemon, but that's why they definitely improved that in the later ones.
Okay. All right, so moving on, let's go to Generation 2. I have to say personally that this is the game that I played the least, and it's not because I didn't like it, it's because my brother always hogged it, and I never got to beat the game. Yeah, so unfortunately, I got very far, though, and you said yourself you played Soul Silver, the remake, right?
Yes.
Okay, so coming off of that, what do you think about Soul Silver, personally?
I liked it. It might have been... It was the first one I played, so it might have been my favorite. I don't know, but it was fun. I liked the Pokemon in it. Now there's tons of Pokemon, but I liked how before it was just an expansion, so there weren't as many Pokemon.
Yeah, it was 100 new Pokemon at the time.
So,
yeah, it definitely felt as an expansion with fixing some of the old problems with Generation 1. Like, that was when they split the special into offense and defense. And then the steel and dark types, that's when they added those. That was a cool change that put more balance into Pokemon.
Personally, from what I have played and what I have seen, I have to be honest, and I'm probably going to take a lot of heat for this, but I think that it's probably the most innovative Pokemon game. And I say that because, you look at it and there's a lot of stuff. Like, let me name some stuff. It was the first Pokemon game to feature in-game time. It was the first to allow breeding in Pokemon, which is something I love to do. Your cell phone was used as the Fame Checker or the Versus Seeker, item I use all the time. Pockets for different items, so you didn't have to scavenge through your bag like in Gen 1. Bigger color palette and better detailed sprites. First use of the National Dex, berries and hold items. I mean, there's just a lot, and even though those things are small and not as...
And then shiny Pokemon and new Pokeballs.
Exactly.
Wasn't that Pokerust 2 at the time?
Yeah, and they actually, I think they had that in Gen 1. I don't know. I don't know when it started.
I think it was Gen 2.
It might have started in Gen 2.
Is this the generation where you can make Pokeballs with the berries, or is that the next one?
I think that's the next one.
Yeah, that's the next one.
You can make something with it. I think that might be Gen 4.
And the region also had a little more identity to it, more variety to what you could do, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think the story was cool too because, they definitely switched it up, and that's something that's always fun to see. Like, this was the first time where, they branched out and, really came off.
Yeah, and served as an outline to Generation 3 for the more changes they would make.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think so too. Definitely a lot of love for Silver Edition. So, here's a big question. What do you guys think of the legendary Pokemon in Silver? Like Lugia and Ho-Oh and Celebi.
I think they're really cool. My favorite is definitely Lugia because he's awesome. Celebi, do people like Celebi? I don't know.
I don't like. Personally, I think Celebi was a cool idea with the whole time thing. I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't see the 4th movie, so I can't say.
Shout out to Pokemon Forever.
That was a good movie.
Also,
you do have to take into consideration.
That was cool. The time traveling.
Yeah, you do have to consider also because let me think. It's Lugia, Ho-Oh, Celebi, and then the 3 legendary dogs, which we often forget. Yeah, Entei, Raikou, and is it Suicune?
Suicune.
Suicune. Okay. Definitely.
Well, that became a fixture in all the games after that. They always had like the 3
Yeah.
Not legendary, but like the
Yeah.
3
Mm-hmm.
semi-legendary.
And they established themselves really well. Like, it's not like, oh, we only want 3 legendary birds and Mewtwo and maybe Mew. Like, they came really well with these legendaries, and I think that's one thing Pokemon can usually do pretty well.
Yeah, that was probably when they did, like, because you would be like the standard 3 dogs of the elements, but then you also have Lugia, Ho-Oh, and Celebi that are out of that
Were they
range.
dogs? I thought they were more big cats.
Celebi was like, I think
Big
Celebi
dogs.
to me was like the second generation's Mew, I guess. Like, not
Yeah, in a way.
in a
I
way,
get what
like
you
it's the
But
cute
less
version
cool.
of
Yeah,
everything.
I get what you mean. Yeah.
There wasn't, I don't think there was really a Mewtwo in Gen 2, where that's like, it's so powerful and it's like the one Pokemon you want. But, I think Lugia and Ho-Oh are great additions, along with the 3 legendary dogs. Really just a fantastic generation. I really liked it.
Yeah, it's like Elijah said, or was it you that felt more as an expansion?
I said it's more
Okay,
He's
it
probably
was
saying more
Elijah.
expansion.
Yeah, so I think that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just did fixed all the problems that people had with Generation 1.
In Generation
And-
1, did it do what the TV show did? Like, you saw Ho-Ho in the game, but you couldn't do
No,
it?
Gen 1, see, what it was basically nothing. It actually had nothing to do with the show itself. You had one starter, you went through that game catching whatever Pokemon you wanted. The one that's maybe the closest related to the show would be Pokemon Yellow, because obviously you get Pikachu, you get all 3 starters, and you can still catch whatever you want. You don't have to name yourself Ash or Gary. You still have that choice, and there's a lot of other differentiations. And so, yeah, I think Silver was really cool because it improved upon Gen 1 and added a lot of things that really remained very crucial to the Pokemon series, in my opinion. So, all right, let's move on.
So, yeah.
All right, let's move on to Gen 3. Well, that's all for Part 1, guys, but we'll be back with Part 2, and we will be talking about Generations 3 and 4. I know some of us really like these generations. So if you like this video, subscribe to Just Nerds so you can check out our next video and our upcoming list of top 5 favorite Pokemon starters. Don't forget, we want to know your thoughts as well, so why don't you guys go down to that comment box and give us your personal thoughts on Pokemon Gens 1 and 2. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you again in Part 2.